Hi everyone! I am going to talk to you about what is due this week and explain a little bit what we'll be doing next week so you can come prepared. So first of all, let's look at our checklist. So the first thing that you should do is watch Fareed Zakaria's video on school segregation. It was a segment on CNN, and I think it's really related to chapter 1 of Catching Up or Leading the Way, and it's about school segregation. So watch this. It's about 3 minutes, 4 minutes, okay? And I'd like you to then go to the forum and I want you to discuss the video. So what did he say that stood out to you? Were there any ideas that reminded you of what Zhao said? Um, Anything related to the book. So reference a specific idea and then post a follow-up question to your classmates. And just like we did last week, I'm going to select the 4 most thoughtful posts, and those 4 people will then lead discussions like we did in class on Wednesday. And if you're selected, you'll get 5 extra credit points. So congrats to the 4 who did that last week, and keep up the good work this week. I just pulled up the chapter 1 study guide, and it looks like we're missing a couple of answers to questions. So here is another extra credit opportunity for you. You guys did really, really great work on this so far. Just because I want you to have the answers to these questions in preparation for the final. If you guys can add, we're missing 15, 18, 19, 20. If you can add answers to the questions, I will give you extra credit points for this too so that we can complete it. And I think that's the only one we're missing. Okay, let's go back to our checklist. So I would also like you to complete the chapter 1 quiz. You will get 2 opportunities, and I'm going to take the average of both of those scores. Your final draft is due on Sunday at noon, and I have a bunch of resources for you, including lots of information about how to write a works cited, how to format your final paper. I'm going to be looking at your papers, what you have in the next few days, and leaving you comments so you can go back and make some edits before you turn it in on Sunday. So if you see here along the side, and this is also on Moodle, I've got a sample research paper, I've got a formatting video, works cited resources, and also some transition handouts and some ideas for how to write a conclusion, make a really solid, strong conclusion. So take a look at those things as well. And make sure you consult with this final draft checklist before you complete your research paper. So on this checklist, you will see different criteria for the format, for the body paragraphs, in the introduction conclusion, works cited, and this should just be a guide. If you can check all of these things off, that means you probably have an A paper. So use this as a guide as you go about completing your final paper. And lastly, because I was going to have us read chapter 3, but it's election week next week. So I want us to focus on different education policies. There are a couple on the ballot, and we've talked about NCLB, but I also want to talk about the Every Child Achieves Act, which was just enacted as soon as NCLB was outlawed by President Barack Obama. And then the Common Core, which are educational standards. So if you click on the education policies, I have you guys in different groups. And so the first group is education on the ballot. So Aminata, Paula, Ting, and Ni. I'd love for you guys to read about Proposition 58 and 51. And what you guys will be doing is summarizing the different policies, giving us the pros and cons, and then giving your overall opinions about the policies based on what you've read. Remember, you have to consider both sides and before you come to your own critical perspective on it. So you guys are doing these two, and we will find out if they passed or not on Wednesday. So this is really relevant. Anish, Tony, Salam, and Dana are going to be looking at the Every Child Achieves Act, and this is a fact sheet and a summary, and there's another article here. You guys can feel free to Google around too if you want more information. No Child Left Behind is going to be Yoon, Amanda, Donna, and Jane. And you guys, we've already read about No Child Left Behind, but this has a fact sheet, and we want to make this information more succinct and summarize what NCLB meant for the states and for schools. And then lastly, the Common Core is something that's been, I think it's about 3 or 4 years old, and it's new. It's a curriculum and new standards for testing, and it's been very contentious. Some people love it, some people hate it, and so I want to find out a little bit more about this, and I want you guys to learn a little more about it. So Stella, Ronnie, Dewey, Michael, and Wei Ling, that's a big group, but you guys will be looking into the Common Core and presenting on that next week. So this is the reading for the week, and then we'll resume with catching up or leading the way for the week after. Okay? So if you guys have any questions, let me know. I hope your writing goes smoothly, and I will see you soon.